Hello all, my name is MonikaParmar and I am from India. I hold few medical and few filmmaking degrees. I have almost 7 years of clinical and 2 years of media experience. Currently I am studying MSc in Global Healthcare Management at Coventry University and I am also working as administrative assistant with one of the healthcare agency at Coventry. Sometimes I feel tests dictate my life. Each and every important thing needs a test. Will I be cracking IELTS to apply UK spouse visa or I'll have to repeatedly try? Will I be getting driving permit or I'll be using bus? If you look at the bigger picture, our entire life is full of tests. From time to time, I have given tests to presumably measure my learning. My main purpose of making this video is to identify my own strengths and personal development goals. For that purpose, first I'll have to understand the models which I can use to identify my strengths. First, MBTI, which stands for Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. According to the Myers and Briggs Foundation, MBTI was developed by shared vision of Isabel Myers and her mother, Catherine Cook Briggs, who got inspired by C.J. Jung's book, Psychological Types. Their main motive was to develop a tool which can help people appreciate their strengths, gifts, and potential development needs, and help people understand and appreciate how other people may differ from them. The four-letter MBTI type formula dichotomizes in 16 distinctive, dynamic, and complex interconnected structure of personality. Another model is DISC. In 1928, Dr. William Marston presented DISC, a human behavior model. It has two sets of opposite traits, while MBTI has 8. Merger of these four main traits corresponds to four-letter DISC, D-I-S-C. According to Talent Space Leadership Consulting, MBTI doesn't actually predict the performance. The MBTI test helps to know about attributes like your intensity of introversion or extroversion or your dependence on thinking versus feeling, which shows what you like to do rather than telling how to make it better if you're bad at it. Test is time consuming. Online free tests do not have professional weight due to their basic results. Thus, professional companies hire experts to get the result done for their employees. That cost money for the companies. It doesn't provide definite answers to. According to flow psychology, people who are hybrid of different personalities should not be treated as just a member of the MBTI. MBTI can give you a good assessment, but that is not your ultimate conclusion as to the efficiency of the potential employee. In general, MBTI is useful for individual for self-knowledge as its results are very personal, related to person's inner self. People feel uncomfortable revealing the results to others. This makes MBTI unsuitable for public environment like corporate worlds or organizations. On the other hand, DISC is environment specific. The results are not that intimate and it's easy for a person to share with others as the assessment results might disclose their work personality and their private self can stay covered. MBTI speculates that personalities are unchangeable, while DISC shows prospects for different behaviors at various situations and environment. MBTI is internal behavior while DISC is external behavior. Due to 16 different personality types and acronyms which are confusing, MBTI is hard to remember for long duration of time. It's hard to use or apply sometimes which you don't remember. Unlike MBTI, DISC is easy to remember due to more user-friendly interface and less theoretical approach. One can remember the results year after taking DISC assessment. This is easy to picturize and interpret in circle or quadrant figure. Unlike MBTI is more complex to draw in a diagram. DISC and MBTI both give a framework to understand others. I'm really impressed with the both assessment models. I like DISC for its easy understanding and MBTI for its thorough explanation of the complexity of human personality. I think each model can complement the other and I prefer taking both to get a full picture of my personality. However, I am told to choose just one model to assess my personality. I would choose the MBTI. I feel that more detailed view of my personality will help me identify my strengths and weaknesses. So by using online portal, I took MBTI test and I found out that I am ESFJ-T. I can actually connect myself 100% with the consul personality, as I love to encourage and support my friends and colleagues. On the top of that, I try my best to make sure that my loved ones are happy. I always went out of the way to be nice and helpful to others, but in few cases I ended up in misery too. That doesn't mean I'll stop helping people, okay? I take my responsibility seriously and do the right thing which is ethically correct. I'm very loyal and loving partner. I respect my elders and gurus. For me, my elders and gurus are my God, as they direct me to correct path. Now, what I'm saying about me might be biased opinion, so I decided to take opinion from my beloved ones, and I am so happy to share the results with you. Now, when it comes to professional environment, I am a sentinel, means I am a team player and a hard worker. But at the same time, I like to be appreciated for my hard work and support. I like to follow the proven methods and rules. This gives me less chance to fail in the task. When it comes to others' opinion, I am not good at it. I really hate when someone gives me opinion and I think I'll have to work on it. Apart from that, my mental space is more connected with my physical space. I like tidy, clean room, all things arranged in a place. I feel my surrounding is my internal reflection, so I try to keep everything tidy. But let's see, talk about transactional leadership style. This category of leadership comes under micromanagement. That means the leader makes sure that employees are following every minute details in accordance with the given orders. With rewards and punishment tools, the employees are motivated. As transactional leadership is used for short term goal achievement, and its much use leads to a confident staff scared of plenty rather than inspired about rewards. I cannot see myself being a leader who can punish their staff. Let's talk about transformational leadership style. Transformational leaders enable the staff to find their internal motivation to progress. They are an involved part of the society and inspires those around them. They channel the interest of the staff towards the collective mission of the organization. Employees loves to go to work when they are under transformational leaders, as they respect the employees' values and morals. I can connect myself with this kind of leadership, as I like to motivate my colleagues and staff to work towards same goal. It is not always advisable to follow the transformational leadership, as by depending too much on passion and emotions of the employees, it can overlook the reality of the truth. For example, when I was running my clinic back in India, I trusted one of my assistants' idea to hire an extra helper to distribute pamphlets door to door instead of giving contracts to the costly marketing agencies. I hired a new boy to distribute the marketing pamphlets. He finished distributing 1,000 pamphlets in one working day. I got very impressed with his work and I was waiting for the results. The same evening, I got a call from some random woman saying that she received almost 500 advertising pamphlets of my clinic on her doorsteps, and she was really angry as it converted her doorsteps into the trash bin. I had to apologize to that woman. That means that new helper boy did not do anything and just kept bunch of pamphlets on 2-3 different doorsteps. After it, I realized that hiring professional marketing agency might be a little bit costlier on the part of my budget, but it is more sensible to do so, as at the end of the day, it will actually promote my business by proper door to door marketing. See, I failed in transformational leadership over there because I trusted one of my employees' emotion and his ideas. But it's not a case every time. But let's also talk about another example. We have another examples like Adolf Hitler and Osama bin Laden, who were cited as the example of the transformational leaders. But as well as we know, the end result were traumatic. Now let's talk about leadership member exchange theory. I would never relate myself with leadership member exchange theory, as it favors some employees more than others. It means everyone is not treated the same. I myself have faced and facing this kind of leadership from my managers. For example, in my current job role, I am paid as the same level with the new employee who does not know basic about the tasks which we are doing every day, and at the end of the day, I need to finish and correct her unfinished and incorrect work. Being a consular personality, I like to help my colleagues, and being a transformational leader, I like to help the new employee to learn and complete the task. But it really demotivates me, as I don't feel appreciated by my manager after doing all this job done. Now let's talk about my values and qualities. So I use the healthcare leadership model by NHS, and from there I found out my values and qualities. From where I got this core values and qualities. Due to globalization, the world is getting smaller, but still there is not much change in the individual country culture. There are varieties of cultures. The culture influences us a lot as we see others through our cultural lenses. The main point is culture nurtures and influences our core values and qualities. How we work, our behavior and style, our use of language, how we solve the problems and conflicts, how we negotiate, and how we go about creating relationship. This is all influenced by our culture. For example, I am from India and I am taught from my childhood that we can't address our gurus and teachers and elders from their names. We need to give them respect by addressing them sir or madam. While over here in United Kingdom, it is normal to address by name when you talk to your teacher and your elders. Nowadays, media and internet have played a major role in influencing values and qualities of people. For example, from 2012 to 2018, citation of hate speech is 92.6% in selected publication, while other 7.4% is scattered from 1993 to 2011. We know that from 2012 onwards, Facebook achieved 1 billion active monthly users. So you know where internet is playing role. Now let's talk about the reflective models. According to Kinsella, action without reflection leads to meaningless activism, while reflection without action means we are not bringing awareness into the world. There are plenty of reflective models. So to understand my feelings and influence from my previous experiences, I used Gibbs reflective practice, which will facilitate my personal and professional growth and development. It gave me structure to follow, which provide me a starting point and end point of the process. I can assess all levels of situations with this model. I understand that reflective practice is a continuous process and it needs to be repeatedly done on certain point of time. So it was the month of August 2016 at NBC Universal Golf Channel, Orlando, USA. I was the online editor for live telecast for Golf Channel tournament, and I used to put all different videos and audio pieces together to make a final bite of the live telecast and forward it to online telecast department. For almost 10 days I completed my routine 3 hours of telecast nicely without any glitch. One day after my routine 3 hours of telecast, I was given another task for which I was trained during my induction session by Mrs. Mickey Ford, the head of post-production department. On that day, I was told by Mickey Madam that I was supposed to catch a live stream errors and correct it before it broadcasts. It was first time given to me, but I was trained, so I accepted the task. I started the live stream and started working on it. After 10 minutes, I found that my speed to correct the errors are slower than the upcoming new errors. So I was lagging behind the time and the video was broadcasting without corrections of the errors. In the next room, Mickey Madam was checking my work, seeing the live telecast on the channel. Before she comes to me, I went to her and asked for the help, saying I am not able to cope up with the time as there are plenty of errors coming in short span of time and my speed of correction is very slow. Without any further delay or argument, Mickey Madam took over the task from my hand and asked me to sit beside her and to note down the errors. I noted the errors, passed to her, and she corrected it on the time. After completion of the live broadcast, Mickey Madam didn't get angry on me and behaved very nicely like nothing has happened. So I felt very much relaxed at that time and I was feeling that I am not that experienced enough to complete that new task. I should be given my daily routine tasks. But now today when I am evaluating with the Gibbs reflection this experience, I really liked Mickey Madam's instant help without showing me anger and keeping me with her while completing the task so I can learn from her. Today, when I remember that incident and I apply the Gibbs reflective practice, I feel that I didn't take my training seriously, as the task was taught to me for a particular reason, and I was supposed to take it seriously. I should have gone to Mickey Madam next day and asked for extra training for the same task, so in future she can rely on me for the similar kind of tasks. What I conclude is I was not prepared for different tasks as I didn't take my training phase seriously. That means I didn't take my job seriously. My action had my direct impact on the Golf Channel's live telecast, means Golf Channel's reputation. For future note, I am not going to take any kind of training lightly. I understood that at some point of time, all part of training is helpful and necessary. As right now I am student, so I'll be completing all my assignments and reading on time with deep understanding of the subjects. If I will not understand something, I'll ask my professor to elaborate it. I won't be ignorant about my lack of knowledge. As Adam says, ask if you don't understand. I realize today asking is the key point to break the all barriers of the negligence. My values and qualities help me to make tough decisions in difficult situations. Simply put, my core values work as a set of rules and guidelines to guide me. The results of my values and qualities are broadly similar to Nolan's principles. In 1994, the chairman of Committee of Standard in Public Life, Lord Nolan, gave 7 principles of public life. Nolan's principles of public life apply to those who works as a public officers. And being a healthcare management student, I aspire to become a healthcare professional, which comes under public service. After understanding the Nolan's principles in depth, I felt that out of 7 principles, integrity, honesty, and selflessness are 3 features which people expect from public officers, while other are related to the office, means organization rather than the occupant. For example, let's talk about accountability. Is what we expect from public office in democratic nation. Just same like openness. I can't see accountability as a feature of personal character, while openness can be a character trait. That means accountability and openness are matter of institutional design. According to M. Philip, when members of public think about what they expect from their officials, they may report what they expect as a feature of office. For example, transparency and accountability. Now let's move ahead and talk about the 3 main characteristics which I hold. First is selflessness. That means having no regards for self. As mentioned in my MBTI personality, selflessness is my nature. For example, while I was doing my master's in film production, a friend came to me asking for help, saying if I can act in his student film, as he had his assignment deadline that day. But I also had assignment deadline very next day for a submission of a script. And I was halfway through it. First I said no, but in just seconds I changed my opinion and said yes to him, as I had whole night to complete my script and he had not. We successfully completed his student film shoot on time and he submitted his assignment. However, I also completed my script and submitted on time. What if I couldn't complete my assignment on time? Every time I can't be lucky. Formally speaking, selflessness asks the person consistently to keep aside their interest, like relationship to family or professional, like relation to career. I think these conflicts are non-preventable, but as far as I behave in a prudent way without being selfish, I can give my 100% to the public service. Now let's talk about integrity. That means the character of uncorrupted virtue. According to Nolan, public servants should not put themselves under any monetary or other obligation to outside individual or institute that might affect their performance. I can't say integrity is one of my characteristics until and unless I have faced a conflict where I need to give importance to my work rather than weighing the different commitments and options and giving respect to competing requirements. I love to stick with my fundamental principle, like integrity, even under pressures from near and dear ones or money. For example, in my current job role, every other week I am given tasks to select people and give them shift. Almost 9 to 10 staff people are my very good friends. As I keep my friendship out of my workplace, I allocate shift equally to all staff of my agency. Now let's talk about honesty. I work best when my colleagues are direct and honest to me. As shown in my MBTI personality test and healthcare leadership models, honesty is an integral part of my nature. For example, 2 weeks before I worked for 36 hours and I got paid for 46 hours. The very next day I went to my manager and asked him to rectify the mistake. He appreciated my honesty, and that feeling of being appreciated just counts a lot for me. CourseWorkOne review for fit and proper person requirement. I feel currently I am not fit for this kind of review as this is mainly concerned to the people with senior level of responsibility for quality and safety of care. For example, senior managers. I like the concept that FPPR review will improve NHS staff work quality. I like to keep myself updated with continuous training. I agree with Lord Rose's NHS leadership review that new staff are not given enough training to make them acquaintance with the new organization environment. There are plenty of training institutes giving NHS staff training, but the thing is, plurality of provisions causes lack of consistency in level of training and development. I feel all organizations should have their own mandatory training to make new staff familiar with the new environment. Let's talk about my personal development goals. I want to develop some goals which can drive me, which has positive energy behind them to make a real future which can make a major differences in my life. I have written 5 personal development goals and they are all smarter. First, I need to complete my resume before the end of this month. Second, I need to attend training session on how to give and receive effective feedback to improve my openness. Third, wake up early. Fourth, let go of the past. And fifth, complete the reading of resources given in all modules by 15th of April 2019 by allotting 3 hours every day for reading. Thank you very much for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye.